Hello everyone. So today we come to the next topic, that is lipoprotein. So in lipid chemistry we have already done glycolipid and simple lipids. Now we come to the complex lipid, that is glycolipid we have finished, phospholipids we have finished, and lipoproteins today we will start. So today come to the next topic, that is lipoproteins. These lipoproteins are very important as they are the only lipids which transfer through blood. So they are water soluble. So lipids are insoluble in water, but these lipoproteins makes them soluble. Now lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are also known as phospholipids. They are, you know that lipids like cholesterol, TG, phospholipids, they are insoluble in water. To facilitate their transport, they are carried in the blood plasma, and hence they are known as plasma lipoproteins. They are macromolecules, complexes of specific carrier protein, that is known as apolipoprotein, and various lipids like phospholipid, cholesterol ester, and TG. So here you can see there is a middle, there is a core of non-water soluble lipids, that is insoluble lipids, that is cholesterol ester and TG, and at the periphery this is surrounded by the phospholipid chain and a protein part. These are known as apolipoproteins. So the structure, that's why these proteins makes them water soluble. It consists of hydrophobic lipids like cholesterol ester and TG in the core. You can see this is the core, which is surrounded by a monolayer of amphipathic phospholipid and free cholesterol and hydrophilic apoprotein. You can now clearly see the structure. So this is a core of cholesterol ester and triacylglycerol, which is surrounded by, these are phospholipid with head, phosphate head, and a tail of non-polar tail of CH2 group. In between this there are present apolipoproteins. So these are intrinsic apolipoprotein, and this dark blue color, these are peripheral apolipoproteins. So this is the amphipathic layer of amphipathic lipids, that is phospholipid and some cholesterol. You can see this purple color, these are cholesterol, and inside here these are cholesterol ester. It is not cholesterol, but it is a cholesterol ester. And non-polar tail, we have seen non-polar, these are non-polar, and phospholipid contain phosphorus, phosphate, and non-polar tail. Now we see on classification of lipoprotein on the basis of electrophoretic mobility. So if electrophoresis is run, then you see at positive charge the fastest running is HDL. Then it is HDL, that's why it is also known as alpha lipoprotein, as it occupies the alpha position. At beta the position is of LDL lipoprotein, but VLDL is just before beta, that's why it is known as pre-beta lipoprotein. And less movable are chylomicrons, they are towards the negative side. Now depending on the density, the lipoproteins are classified into 4 again, with highest density, that is HDL, then with low density it is LDL, then very low density it is VLDL, and the chylomicron. So chylomicron has less than 0.96 density, Swedberg unit, it is S, that is Swedberg unit. Then 0.96 to 1.006 density is of VLDL, then it is increases to 1.063, that is LDL, and finally it is 1.2, then it is HDL. So these are separated by ultracentrifugation on the basis of density. The lipoproteins, then LDL is again divided into three, that is LDL1, IDL1 and LDL2, and HDL is divided into HDL1, HDL2 and HDL3. Based on apolipoprotein, the lipoproteins are classified into lipoprotein A, that is HDL, lipoprotein B, which is LDL and VLDL, lipoprotein C, which is HDL, LDL and VLDL, lipoprotein D, which is present in HDL only, and lipoprotein E, they are known as ApoE, which are present in HDL, LDL and VLDL. Different types of apolipoproteins present in various lipoproteins are ApoA, ApoC, ApoD, ApoE, and B are of two types, that is ApoB100 and ApoB48. Now these apolipoproteins, the ApoA function, what they do, it activates LCAT. LCAT is lecithin cholesterol acyl transferase. It is a ligand of HDL receptor and specific for HDL. It is anti-atherogenic. So if the level of ApoA increases, then they are not atherogenic. So it is the heart is less at risk. Then ApoB, it is now ApoB, that is ApoB100. It is only apoprotein, that is component of these are LDL and LDL receptor on tissue. It binds on LDL receptor on tissue. It is one of the biggest protein. It is synthesized in liver. Then ApoB, it is the major apoprotein of chylomicron. It is synthesized only in intestinal cells. ApoB100 and ApoB48 are products of the same gene, but the mRNA undergoes editing, so B48 are produced in the intestinal cell, so named as B48, as it is on 48% size of B100. Now ApoE, it is present in chylomicron, VLDL, LDL. It is arginine rich protein. It is involved in cellular transport of lipids in central nervous system. It has 4 isomers, namely 1, 2, 3 and 4. ApoE4 is involved in the development of senile dementia and Alzheimer's disease. It is also associated with lipoprotein glomerulopathy. Now 4 major classes of lipoprotein, they are HDL, LDL, VLDL and chylomicron. We can see their HDL is made up of A1, A2, E and CS. LDL is made up of B100 and VLDL is made up of B100, CS and E, and chylomicron is made up of B48, CS, E and A1 and A2. Major core lipids are cholesterol ester. Here also cholesterol ester. Here it is TG and here it is also TG. The size you can see, they are smaller in size, HDL1 and HDL2. They are bigger in size as it contains more lipid. Then the more TG, as more TG is there, VLDL is more bigger in size, and you can see chylomicrons are so bigger. Now functions of apoproteins. Structural role in lipoprotein complex. It has an important function in the structure of lipoprotein complex. It serves as cofactor for the activation of certain enzymes. It also activates ApoC2 lipoprotein lipase, and ApoA1 activates lecithin cholesterol acyl transferase, that is LCAT. It serves as apoprotein serves as an inhibitor for lipoprotein lipase, and ApoA2, it inhibits lipoprotein lipase as a ligand to bind with specific receptor on target tissue. Example, ApoE binds on LDL receptor, related protein S receptor, and ApoB100 binds on LDL receptor. Now separation by ultracentrifugation. If you separate this all apolipoproteins, they are separated like this. Fat is less dense than water and so it floats away. So lipoproteins are characterized by the on the basis of their density. So those lipoprotein with high lipid content will have low density. So chylomicron has the maximum lipid content, then VLDL, then LDL, and HDL has the very low lipid content. Thus, by centrifugation, different fractions are separated depending on the floating constant. Now separation by electrophoresis. Number 2, the lipoproteins are then separated by first by ultracentrifugation on the basis of density, then on the basis of electrophoretic mobility by electrophoresis. We have already seen that chylomicron remains towards the negative size, whereas HDL is the fastest to move, which comes to the alpha position, hence known as alpha lipoprotein. LDL comes to the beta position, that's why known as beta lipoprotein, whereas VLDL comes just before the beta lipoprotein, hence known as pre-beta lipoprotein. Now chylomicrons, we will go through one class. Now chylomicron are largest lipoprotein, that is from 180 to 500 nanometer in diameter. They are synthesized in endoplasmic reticulum of intestinal cells during fat absorption. This ApoB48 is the main protein component but also contains ApoA, ApoC2 and ApoE. Consists of high quantity of lipoprotein, and that is 98% they are having lipid, and low quantity, that is 2% of protein, and in the lipid content they include TG, 90% TG, 3% phospholipid and 5% cholesterol. It is the main transport form of dietary TGs, dietary triglyceride. Therefore it is transported exogenously TG to various tissue. About 80% of exogenous triglycerides are transported from intestine via lymph and blood to extrahepatic tissue such as adipose tissue, cardiac and skeletal muscles, and the remaining 20% is transported to the liver. The TG which are present in chylomicron are hydrolyzed by lipoprotein lipase. In adipose tissue, cardiac, skeletal and muscles, this enzyme is present on the capillary walls of this tissue. Insulin activates lipoprotein lipase and hence it decreases in diabetes mellitus. Lipoprotein lipase is also activated by ApoC2. On the hydrolysis of TG in the presence of lipoprotein lipase, free fatty acids and monoacyl glycerol are formed, which are taken up by the tissue where they are utilized for energy production and re-esterified to TG for storage. Now next is VLDL. It is also known as pre-beta lipoprotein. As compared to chylomicron, VLDL are slightly more density, have more density and more of the protein present. So chylomicrons have 95% of lipids, which was 97 in case of that, and 5% of protein. Most of them are produced in the parenchymal cells in liver, and small quantities are synthesized in intestinal mucosal cells. The lipid component of VLDL include 60% TG, 15% phospholipid and 20% cholesterol. It is the major apoprotein which is present is B100, ApoC and ApoE. VLDL is also released in blood from liver cells by reverse pinocytosis. The nascent VLDL, it is newly synthesized VLDL, in liver consists of only ApoB100. The nascent VLDL in blood combines with other apoproteins such as ApoE and ApoC2 from circulating HDL. Now you can see the structure of VLDL, where these are the ApoE, ApoB. These you can see the cholesterol is there, and the major triacylglycerol and cholesterol ester is there, and a major apoprotein, this is this B apo B, this is B100 and B48 and so. It is responsible for the transport of endogenous synthesized Tg from liver to peripheral tissue, muscle for energy, and adipose tissue for storage. In this tissue, Tg contained in VLDL are hydrolyzed by lipoprotein lipases to free fatty acid and monoacylglycerol, which are taken up by tissue. Thus, the removal of 60% of Tg from VLDL decreases the size and increase the density of VLDL, forming VLDL remnants. The VLDL remnants then release their apolipoproteins ApoC and ApoE that returns back to circulating HDL and VLDL and transforming them into IDL. In this way, the IDL is intermediate density lipoprotein are. You can also see the structure of apolipoprotein is like this. So ApoB100, you can see it's large amount of quantity. Then cholesterol ester in the core, and phospholipids these are present, and unesterified cholesterol is also present here. Okay, this is over. Now vesicles fused by lysosome and lysosomal lipase and proteases which degrade LDL to give cholesterol, phospholipid, free fatty acid, glycerol and amino acid. The free receptor returns to the cell membrane for binding further LDL. The cholesterol derived intracellularly from LDL is further utilized for the synthesis of vitamin D3, bile acid and steroid hormone. If cholesterol is not required for this purpose, then they are re-esterified to cholesterol ester for its storage inside the cell by the enzyme acyl coenzyme A, cholesterol transferase, or it is incorporated into the membrane. Cholesterol ester are hydrolyzed to free cholesterol and fatty acid. Also, intracellular cholesterol derived from LDL also regulated endogenous de novo synthesis of cholesterol by inhibiting enzyme HMG coenzyme A reductase. ApoB100 is hydrolyzed to amino acid. It is bad cholesterol and it transports cholesterol from liver to extrahepatic tissue. Most of the cholesterol present in plasma lipoprotein HDL is esterified by transfer of an acyl group from second position of lecithin to cholesterol in the presence of enzyme LCAT, that is lecithin cholesterol acyl transferase. This enzyme also have a role in lecithin metabolism. The enzyme LCAT is plasma enzyme. It is synthesized in liver and is associated with ApoA of HDL. HDL cholesterol is a real substrate for LCAT and reaction is reversible. It needs to be transported from extrahepatic tissue to the liver where the catabolism of cholesterol takes place for its excretion outside the body, and this is known as reverse cholesterol transport. LCAT is also known as PCAT, that is phosphatidylcholine cholesterol acyl transferase. This is the role of LCAT in cholesterol transport. After removing cholesterol from extrahepatic tissue, the disc-shaped nascent HDL is converted to spherical HDL, which is taken up by liver by HDL receptor mediated endocytosis. In liver, this HDL cholesterol is catabolized to bile acids or secreted as free cholesterol in the bile for its removal from the body. So thank you very much. So please like, share and subscribe.